Hi guys, it's Poppy and Rosie. We have another video for you today, and this is a Q&A. It's our most highly requested video, so we have this big long list of questions here for you that we're going to be answering. We're going to be answering them together and from both of our perspectives. Yeah. So let's get started.
Awesome. So these are all from you guys, from our TikToks and our like TikTok lives and everything. So it's like the main questions that you guys have asked. So the first one is, how old are you guys?
We are 22.
Both 22.
My birthday is in February, her birthday is in May, and we are 23 this year.
And where are you guys from?
We are from Brisbane, Australia.
How long have we been friends for, and how did we meet?
We met in school. So we went to school together, we basically grew up together. We've been friends for like 10 years, give or take.
So yeah, I remember she came to my school, like she started a bit later.
I was the new girl.
And I got forced to sit next to her in English, I think it was.
Yes.
And the teacher was like, oh, can you look after this new girl? And I was like,
she was like, no.
I was like, I don't want to, like, no. And we didn't like each other. It was like 2 weeks. We did not like each other. And then we became friends. So that was good. Do we have partners, and do they care what we do?
So I have a partner, and I have been with him for like 7 months. And before that, I had a partner. I've had partners while dancing, while stripping. And I've had, yeah, you can definitely have a successful relationship when you're a stripper.
Yeah, so I've been with my partner for 5.5 years, so a really, really long time. So I started stripping into our relationship. He's totally fine with it. I asked him before, because I just wanted like a level of respect there, but I said, are you cool with me doing this? He's like, yep, go for it, no problem. Yeah, and I don't know, I don't think a guy should tell you what to do.
I don't think anybody has a right to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Yeah. And I get that you want to respect them and their opinions and maybe flag with them, have a discussion. Yeah. But so often we see in this industry, my boyfriend won't let me. Yeah. It's like, is he your dad? Because
Does he own you?
I thought you were an adult who could make your own decisions. Yeah. But I really don't believe that the only thing stopping you from doing anything is another person's opinion. You know, what you're doing is legal and safe. And if you want to do it, then you should do it.
Agreed. What is the point of this YouTube channel? This is a good question.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Tell us why. Why are we doing this?
Many years ago, when I was, you know, thinking about stripping, and I like would look up on YouTube because I love watching people's vlogs, all I could find was American strippers from their perspective, and the industry is so different, country to country, club to club even. And, you know, I came across the accounts like Christina Villegas, Nina Unrated, Sarah Camilla, and like I absolutely love their videos, and you know, they let you know what stripping is all about, but it's very different in Australia, and I couldn't find any information about that. And so I think about all these other girls in Australia that might be like, oh, do we have strippers in Australia? What's it like? And so I feel like we have like kind of a duty now that we've been doing this for long enough.
We're doing this for you guys.
That we need to like get it out there and destigmatize sex work, because you know, it's great.
Yeah, and like it's such a different vibe. Like in Australia, like there's no house moms and there's no $1 bills, and like there's just so much different stuff, and we couldn't find any information on how to be a stripper. We just had to like start.
So going into our interview, we had no idea what to expect, and I can only imagine how many girls are literally like thinking that it's going to be like America, and it's going to be so lucrative, and it's so different. So
yeah. All right, someone has asked, what are your careers, like career paths, and why are they for you? Like, what's your passion?
Good question. So many people, you know, believe that if you're a stripper, you must be addicted to drugs and be super poor and, you know, really unfortunate. And that's called survival sex work. So if you need to do it and it's your only means of making money, then, you know, they sell their body, sell themselves for sex and that sort of objectification, and that is not the case for us. We do this because we absolutely love it, we really want to, and we have other options. So me personally, I have a bachelor's degree, I have a bachelor's of medical science, I then did a master's degree, a master's by research in neuroscience, and I'm currently a doctorate student, so I'm doing my PhD in ophthalmology, so eyes, retinal disease. So one day I'd like to be an academic, so kind of like a professor, or be an eye doctor one day. So that's my backup.
And why are you so passionate about it?
And so,
someone's like, because people keep asking like, why are you so passionate about like what you're doing?
Yeah. Just because I love it. Like I grew up always wanting to like fix things. I love science, and I love like science communication. That was like another one of my majors when I was doing my undergrad, and I love, you know, just like educating people and like having like a dialogue, and I love learning, and so yeah, it's good.
And I am currently studying to be a teacher. I work in a primary school at the moment. I do before and after school care, but I'm studying to do secondary education and psychology, and my like other subject is earth science, so I can be a like a junior science teacher. I've always wanted to be a teacher pretty much since I was like 12 or 13. It's what I've always wanted to do. I love kids. I love working with them. I also have like a bit of a superiority complex, so I like being in charge. I really like being in front of the class and teaching kids. I like having good banter with like older students, and that's why I do it. A lot of my practice I get asked to come back like time and time again just because I get along really well with the students. But yeah, I've just always wanted to work with kids, so that's the plan.
I think we should also address if this is the only thing that we do, and no, it's not. We both have day jobs, normal people jobs, socially respectable jobs.
We're contributing to society
in a meaningful way. So I've worked in healthcare since basically I was in high school. So I currently work in an ophthalmology clinic, and I'm an ophthalmic assistant, so I work in that sort of setting. And I do research most of the time with my studies. And
so we both have normal people jobs.
Normal people jobs.
But we just do this on the side, I guess. How many years have you guys been stripping for?
Just over 2 years.
2 years. So I feel like we have a pretty good handle on.
Yeah, we've worked at a couple of clubs and we're moving around a little bit and sussing it out. So yeah.
This is my favorite question. Someone has asked, what is your hourly rate? Rosie can take this one. She likes answering this one.
Okay, so brace yourself. Strippers do not have an hourly rate. It may sound illegal, but strippers do not get paid. Strippers are not employees. Strippers are independent contractors, so we make our own money. What that means is when you go to a club, the strip club does not pay you to be there. Pretty much 99% of the time, you pay the strip club to be there, and that's what's called a house fee. So before you even start working, you get there and you have to pay the club your rent to work there. And that can range anywhere between $15 and $200, depending on the club, the day, etc. And so after that, you're pretty much on your own. It's up to you to make money. You need to hustle, you need to get stage tips, you need to get floor tips, you need to go for dances. That's where primarily...
You don't make anything otherwise.
You don't make any money otherwise. A lot of questions as well. Oh, can I be a stripper if I don't do lap dances? And the answer is not really. You could probably, but you wouldn't make any money.
$50 a night maybe, which is not worth taking your clothes
pretty
off.
much all of our money comes from lap dances. And most clubs you get more than half of that you keep, and then the club keeps the rest. And so that's how that works. So no, we do not make an hourly rate. We are not employees. We are responsible for doing all of our own work, doing our own tax, that sort of thing.
Sadly. This is also one of my favorite questions. What is the most and least you've ever made in one night? Do you want to go?
Yes. So I love telling people this because they're so shocked. That you can literally work an 8-hour shift on your feet in 10-inch heels, you know, half naked, talking to people, emotional, you know, labor in these bad boys, and literally make no money, $0. If no one tips you and no one takes you for a dance, if you're not a very good hustler, whatever it is, you make $0. Not only can you make $0, but you can actually leave in the negative. So after you've paid your door fee, you're out maybe $30, $50. And if you don't make any money, then you've worked for 8 hours and you've lost money. And that's a very real thing. And that's, you know, unfortunately the way that the industry is, and a lot of people, you know, can't really function like that, and I totally get that. But for me personally, the least money I've ever made is $0. So I've made $0. I have never been in the negative, fortunately, but I have worked for free, and that's only happened to me once. And in my defense, I was working for a 4-hour shift, which is quite a short shift, and it was a Sunday night and in the middle of winter, and not a single patron actually came into the club. So I was not the only person to make $0, but it does give you a reality check, and you definitely appreciate the higher amounts of money that you do earn. Following on from that, the highest amount of money I've made in one night is $4,700, which is $4,700.
So it's a big
difference.
Yeah. Mine's pretty much the same. I've actually been really lucky. I've never had a negative night, and I've never had a $0 night.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, we're going to work soon, so maybe tonight's the night. The least I've ever made is $50. I have a TikTok up on that actually. It was pretty rough, and it was quite recently. And the most I've ever made is $4,200, I want to say. So again, like a massive difference between the two. But I'm just super lucky that I've never had a negative night, because that's not very common. Okay, next question. Where do you want to travel to strip? This is a good question because we've just finished booking 3 different cities in one day.
Holidays.
Yeah, so we're actually planning on going to Cairns in like 4 weeks, and then we're
North
going
Queensland,
and then we're going to Gladstone in April, and we are going to Sydney in June, July holidays because I'm still at uni, so we're going in like the uni break. But we want to do like the whole of Australia eventually.
We want to work in every city that has strip clubs, and we want to educate ourselves and see what it's like, see what the industry is like, and like let you guys know. Yeah,
because we want to film all the cities we do, so we can give like honest feedback. We can film how much we make and the club and the girls and talk about it first-hand experience, because again, we've like looked for YouTubers
and there's such a gap.
We've looked for YouTubers to be like, oh, what is this place about, or what is this place about, and we
What's
cannot
this industry
find
about?
Anything. So yeah, we've booked in 3 cities in the next 4 months, and we are planning, we want to do Melbourne,
Perth,
even Darwin, I think.
Yeah, literally every Australian
Adelaide.
city, and then of course we'd love to go, you know, abroad.
Yeah, America would be really good, because then we can compare it to Australian strip clubs.
Yeah.
Because all the YouTube content of strippers is American, so at least we could like suss it out and compare it. So that's what we want to do.
And Europe would be fun too.
Yeah,
of course.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
How did you get into stripping, and what was your first night like? Okay, well, I might start because I started stripping just before Rosie. I actually messaged a girl that worked at the club that I wanted to work at. So I messaged her on Instagram and I was like, hey, can I ask you a couple of questions? And she was so overly nice and was like, yes, like come in, like I'll answer all your questions. And she was like to me, I'll get you an interview tonight. And I was just like, like, no, I was not expecting that, because I just wanted to answer some questions. But I said, okay, let's do it. And I was so nervous, and I like didn't eat all day, and she was like, yep, come in, bring your ID, bring like your lingerie, bring a bag, like you'll probably get the job. And I was like, okay. So I went for my interview, and like pretty much I just sat down, and at the time I was very skinny, very like blonde skinny, like very
like a stripper, baby
stereotypical baby stripper. And yeah, I sat down, and all he asked was my real name, what I would like to be called, so my dancer name, which is Poppy, and like my availability. And he was like, cool, you can start tonight. And I was not expecting that. I was so nervous. But my first night was really good. I remember it was a Wednesday, and I remember it was in October. The girls were so friendly. They like showed me how to do a lap dance, how to do pole, how to do stage, how to talk to people. Like they were so, my package is here. Oh my God. I'll just press pause on this. Oh my God. Alright guys, I just got a honey Birdette package, so this is super exciting. Okay, what was I saying? And the girls were really nice, and it was a Wednesday, and
how much money did you
I
make?
made $650 on my first shift, and I was
on
like,
a Wednesday.
I was like,
it's pretty good.
I was like, I'm coming back, this is awesome. So that was my first night. I had a really good experience, and October through to December is a really good time anyway. So like, yeah, I was so stoked, and like I had a really good night. What was your first night? It was at my club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was probably like, I want to say 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, Poppy's a stripper. I've always wanted to be a stripper. You know, I've worked in, I guess, the adult industry since I was 18. I did sugaring for a little while, and I always sort of had in the back of my mind, like, you know, I feel like I've got like the confidence, and I think that it would be like a job really well suited to me. And so she finally did it, and I was like, okay, fine, tell me how it is, tell me all about it. And when she told me how much money she made, she told me that she wasn't uncomfortable or unsafe, and that she really enjoyed it. I was like, fine, I'm sold. So it was a Friday, and I was at uni, and it was such a rough day. I remember just being so exhausted because I was working so hard at the time, and I was like, I just, you know, I need some money. You know, can I maybe set up a shift or a interview tomorrow, the Saturday?
Yeah.
And then you were like, no, tonight. It has to be
I was
tonight.
like, come tonight.
It has to be tonight. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. Like I felt sick. And so pretty much the same thing. I went in and I,
terrifying.
you know, just wore, you know, a little dress, had my makeup done, had my hair done, met with him, gave him my license, my real name, my stage name, which at the time was Daisy.
Yeah.
And
So cute.
yeah, told him my availability, and then I started that night. And my first night was a Friday in November, and I made $580. I'll
So
remember
good.
that. And I was like, wow, like this is so much more money, because at the time, like I was just working as a research assistant, and I was making like $20 an hour. And it was like easier work because it was, you know, the hourly rate like worked out to be so much more. And yeah.
It was good.
Question?
Yeah.
The first night, like,
Yeah, what was it like? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. That's why we both came back, because we made heaps of money. It was fun, and we've pretty much been working together for like the whole time. So it's always like, it's always better to do it with a friend, I think, because I've only worked by myself for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, come in, like it'll be fun. So yeah.
She's like, I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm coming.
Separation anxiety. And like I was in really well with the manager at the time, so I was like, hey, my friend wants to start, like, can she come? And he was like, yeah, tonight. And that's when I texted her, and she was like, I'm not ready. But it was good. It was good. What can you claim on tax?
Yes, so as I
Good
said
question.
before, we're independent contractors. You are responsible for doing all of your own tax. In saying that, you can 100% outsource it to an accountant. So pay an accountant a couple $100, they'll do your taxes for you, they'll lodge them for you, and then what you actually pay the accountant to do that is tax deductible. So it's nothing actually out of pocket in order for a professional to do your taxes for you. So you don't lose anything. I would really recommend that to the vast majority of sex workers. When I say sex worker, I mean anything in the adult industry.
Because there's like sex worker specific accountants that you can hire, so they know everything.
So a sex worker is even an adult model, people who do porn and camming, people who do OnlyFans and just OnlyFans, they're considered sex workers.
There's so much.
And also strippers. So even though it's not actually sex work, you come under this umbrella term of adult entertainers or adult workers, and we call them sex work. So
What can you claim?
what can you claim as a sex worker? Generally speaking, in Australia, you can claim lingerie as a costume. So if you're requiring it for work, generally you can claim it. So costumes, lingerie, stripper heels, makeup.
Yeah.
So putting it down always as stage makeup. Because if you're wearing this makeup every day and you're not working, that can't be claimed.
Yeah, you need it as like your outfit.
Yeah,
Because like a lot of
it's
clubs
your costume.
require it. Yeah.
So clubs require you to, have your hair done. So it's things like hairbrushes and hairspray, but not things like hair dye and extensions because they're not necessary.
Yeah.
If a club requires you to have jewelry, then some jewelry within, reason can be claimed. A work bag can be claimed if it's necessary.
I claim my work
and
bag.
all travel associated with you going to work. In saying that, it's not within your city. So if I live in Brisbane and I work in Brisbane, I can't claim all of the deductions that my car accumulates. So I can't claim my petrol or anything to do with like that. However, I can claim from city to city. So if I'm flying to a different city to work, I can claim my air fee, accommodation,
like everything.
food. You can claim everything because it's a work trip.
Yeah. That's why we're going away so much.
Yeah.
Like it's all tax deductible, so we can just go and claim it, and at the end of the day, we don't pay for anything.
Things with technology can also be claimed. Again, check with your accountant.
Especially for OnlyFans.
So things like laptops, cameras, phone bills, portions of phone bills. If they're used for personal reasons, that's not the same thing. It has to be solely for work or the percentage used for work. So things like Wi-Fi or locations where you shoot, the rent for that sort of thing. So literally anything that comes along with you making money can usually be tax deductible as long as it's essential.
Awesome. Yeah, so pretty much everything.
But check with your accountant,
Except eyelash extensions.
So again, eyelash extensions are not necessary.
Yeah.
And getting fake nails usually is not necessary unless you get it in writing from your club or from a client that they specifically request you have acrylic nails and acrylic pedicure or shellac pedicure. Then you need to have that evidence if you're asked for it that it was absolutely necessary and it's a 100% tax write-off.
Like I've claimed bottles of tan before because I've worked at clubs that tan is a
Require
requirement.
you to have fake tan.
And nails have been a requirement, so it depends on the club. Like you can claim it just depending if it is written in your like rules, I guess, because you're not on a contract, but like the rules of the club, I guess. Yeah. Is there jealousy between the girls? This is a great question. Yes, every club that we've worked at, there has been not issues, but it's been very obvious to us that there is a level of jealousy between either us two and girls or just one of us or like
or girls and other girls.
Yeah, we don't compete between each other obviously because like we're friends and we split our tips and we work together and like that's our thing. But definitely, especially going to new clubs, there is always that level of like unknown and there's jealousy, and especially because I find Rosie and I are really hard workers at work. Like I feel like we're not lazy and we always are hustling and asking for money and asking for tips and taking people for dances. Like we do work really hard, and some girls just find that quite off-putting, I think.
Or intimidating. It's like their club, their territory, and we're there because we want to be the top earners. We're not there to drink and party and hang out with each other. We're there to make the most money that we possibly can. And there's only so much money in the club. And unfortunately, all of the other dancers are your competition. So it's good to keep in mind, always be respectful of other people. Never start drama and never engage in drama. In saying that, there is always going to be drama in a workplace.
Especially females.
Especially females. And when you don't get paid an hourly rate and you are literally each other's competition. So be nice to each other, but it's not always going to be like that. So just be careful.
Definitely a level of jealousy. Every club, like, and especially when we go to the different clubs this year, we're going to suss it all out. But again, we've been in multiple clubs and it has been the same in every club. So just always bear that in mind. What is a controller? I like this question.
So a controller is similar to a security guard, but a security guard is sort of a general term, and they're there to sort of like keep an eye out and see if anything goes generally wrong, if anything's a bit suspicious or illegal, anyone's being, you know, drunk and disorderly, they can sort of like escort them off the premises, that sort of thing, hand them over to authorities, that sort of thing. But a controller is a sex worker specific occupation. So you need specialized training for this, and you need to pay for a license. And basically their role is to be wherever a stripper is or a sex worker in a venue, and to watch them because they know what is and isn't allowed in that state, in that club. So touching, you know, talking and being disrespectful or that sort of thing. The rules for that club, they can enforce that. They can then go and get security or just escort someone out. They wear like little headphones and can talk to the managers of the club, other security. They can talk about what's going on. But yeah, basically their job is to keep the stripper or keep the sex worker safe.
We love them.
You know, all it takes is for us to raise our hand. They come over and they take care of the situation. If they see anything that, you know, we're uncomfortable, we're not safe, they intervene and they know exactly what to do and exactly how to handle the situation.
Yeah. And they're like the best people to be really good friends with, and you always keep them on your good side, especially for baby strippers. They look after you so well. Like when I first started, my controllers like were our bartenders as well, so we got along really well with them, and they were just the best. Like they would look out for you so much, and like we tip our controllers when we're making a lot of money. We will always tip them because they will really, like, they will end dances for us if we're uncomfortable, like so quickly, no questions asked. Like just keep them always on your good side because they're there to look after you at the end of the day. It's their job.
So I guess
yeah, we love them.
Some people might be surprised that we tip our controllers because that's what you're supposed to do. Because in America, minimum wage is super low compared to Australia. So a dancer at the end will tip the DJ, tip the house mum, which is the worker who's in charge of the dancers. Will tip the controllers, tip the security guards. And in Australia, generally speaking, we absolutely do not do that.
Because they all get paid.
It's not a thing. They get paid hourly and we do not.
Yeah.
So, if you're making a lot of money and your controller's being really good to you, looking after you, it is nice to show them some appreciation. So we always make an effort to do that because they keep us safe.
It's only if we make like heaps, then obviously we'll
get booked in a private room and with them, because the controller comes wherever we go, we'll give them, you know, some cash to tip. Yeah.
Will you help your kids with dancing if they want to do it?
So I am so pro dancing. I'm pro stripping. I'm pro all adult sex work as long as it is legal and safe and it's amongst consenting adults. Yeah. I think that it is so unfortunately stigmatized, and
that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. So there's absolutely no shame. We're not here to yuck anybody's yum, and there is no shame in sex work. Yeah. So if my children wanted to make an informed decision, this is something that they really want to do, and it's not, you know, survival sex work. They don't have any other option. It's not like that. They're informed about what the industry entails. They feel comfortable with it. They're safe, and they're doing it in a legal, you know, protected environment.
Like how we're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I really wouldn't discourage anybody from trying it. Yeah. If you know it's for the right reasons and they're safe.
I'd help them buy their shoes.
Yeah.
Pick their name. I'd be totally fine with it. As long as they're safe and happy and they're not struggling.
In saying that, I wouldn't push my child to be a stripper.
Please become one.
I like to think that I would treat them the same if they wanted to be a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, a stripper. Like I would literally treat them the same. Yeah. If they wanted to do something and they, you know, weren't doing it out of necessity, I would support that.
Definitely. Me too. This is a question we get asked a lot actually. Why do we have fake names?
Yeah, so it's really common that, you know, you have stripper names. So those names like Angel or Baby or Crystal. But it is actually really important for our safety. So I know more strippers who have current restraining orders. So it is unfortunately really common that legal action needs to be taken because patrons, yes, they're mostly men, but of course they can be female, mostly men, overstep the boundaries, put our privacy in danger, you know, jeopardize our everyday life and our safety. So unfortunately, we need to do things like have a stage name and have that fun personality, and not disclose any of our personal information because unfortunately, there are bad people in the world, and we've had some awful stories. So we're just trying to keep us safe. We're not trying to lie to anybody or anything like that, but it is for our own safety.
And like that's why we make stripper Instagrams and stripper Twitters. It's so we can keep in contact with regulars and keep in contact with clients and promote ourselves, promote our businesses like OnlyFans and stuff, but we can do it in a lot more of a safe way. Like it's very hard for, say, like our family or friends to find our strippergrams because they're completely separate to our real names. And like, it's just safer, but it's also super easy as well.
We like to keep the fantasy alive as well. So when people come into the club, they don't want to see like, you know, Jane Smith who works at the post office, because that's not much of a fantasy. So they, you know, you come to the strip club for this experience that it's like, wow, like it's, you know, you don't do it very often, and it's like not real life. And so it's the fantasy, and we only exist in the club and on social media, and we're strippers 100% of the time. We always look this glamorous and naked, and we're always this tall, and we like to keep that alive for you guys, because otherwise what's the point?
And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, that's clearly not your real name, is it? And the way we get around it is just being like, okay, well, tell us your stripper name, and we'll just call the guy a different name. Like, you just make a joke.
Fun, and you make it lighthearted. Because
they usually don't care.
You know, sometimes they feel like, oh, defensive, like we're not being open or honest, but it's, one, it's for our safety, and two, it's for their enjoyment.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this is the question that everyone asks us about 45 times a day. We get DMs, we get comments, we get, like every day. So what are the specialty rooms, and which one is your favorite? At our club, we have 3 separate rooms. So we have a Netflix and chill room, which is called the Blue Room. We have a shower room, and we have a bondage room. And they're basically like, you pay extra money and you get yourself and the client and a controller. You all go in, and it's just like a themed room. So our favorite, I can speak for both of us, is the Blue Room. It's the Netflix and chill room. So basically you go in, you get your own private room. There is a TV, there is Netflix, there is an Xbox, you get delivered hot popcorn, you can play Uno, you can play board games, like there's just everything. So this is booked for more as like a girlfriend experience. So a lot of customers will want to come in and like give you a cuddle or give you a massage or
have a dinner
just, like,
date.
hang out. Yeah, so you can order Uber Eats to the club. Like it is literally like going on a date.
It's really
with your
fun.
favorite stripper.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun. It's the one we probably get booked in the most.
Yeah.
Because we push for it, because it's our favorite one. Because it's just like more relaxed, like it's very chill, and
it's less like a strip club. And a lot of people are like, oh, I just want to see you outside the club. Number one, that's not safe. Number two, it's not allowed at most clubs. So we sort of say like, hey, come into this room, and like there's beanbags, and we can play strip poker and naked twister.
It's so fun.
And even, you know, do normal lap dances in there, but you get all these extras, and you get the privacy as well. And there's that freedom of like choice, like, oh, you get to choose what we play, you get to choose what we watch, or you know, it's like that extra, it's just that extra something.
And then the bondage room, so it's just like a little dungeon-y kind of room. It's like red light themed, which is cool. It's a lot smaller than the Blue Room. And it has like chains and stuff hanging from the ceiling, and there's like whips, there's toys, there's handcuffs, there's like blindfolds, there's basically everything you can kind of want from like light BDSM kind of things. And you can just like tie each other up, and you can whip each other to, you usually have a safe word. So we would always ask our patron like, what's a safe word, what are you comfortable with, that kind of thing.
Our safe word personally is always, I'm a pussy.
We just use that because it's funny.
But no, so you don't even need to do pain BDSM in there. It's literally, again, whatever you are comfortable with as a stripper. So a lot of people would be like, oh my god, like what if I'm not okay
it's
with
so
that?
intense.
And I personally, like, it's not my thing, and I don't feel comfortable with being in pain, so I wouldn't provide that service. And I would tell that up front to the patron, and I would be like, hey, like if you are wanting that, I'm super happy to provide that to you. But just let them, you know, make them aware of the boundaries that you have personally. And there's nothing that you have to do or you don't have to do.
It's just like for fun.
It's just really for fun. And it can be a lot about sensory. So it's not just pain, it's about sensory. So if that's tickle, if it's like, touch, if it's massage, if it's playing with hair. Something that actually is really common is just standing on the patron. If they're just lying down, you just sort of stand on their back, and it's just like a weight thing, and it's like a power thing, and you know, it's not
a lot of guys enjoy that.
Like a lot of guys really like it. And the wall is actually a grid. So you can tie people up, you can tie each other up, the dancers, up actually off the floor onto this grid that is like this iron grid. But yeah, it's just like a whole lot of, again, it's that fantasy that you don't really get that anywhere else.
It's super fun.
And a lot of clubs don't have these specialty rooms, but
we're very lucky. And the final one, which I think everyone is the most, has the most questions about, is the shower room. So it is on our previous vlog if you guys want to have a look at what it actually looks like. But our shower room is basically this massive room, and there is a shower with no door. So you get in and you basically just have a shower, and there's like soap and like loofahs, and the customer can like lather you up, and we can do it to each other and like give us massages.
Massage each other.
And it's actually very relaxing because like the steam heats up the room, and it gets very, I really like it, and a lot of guys really like it because we bring them really close to the shower. Like we sit on the edge. They can sit on the edge. Yeah.
And they can take their tops off, and they can get wet as well.
Yeah.
And we usually put our hair up. We don't like getting our hair wet because we do have to go out and dance afterwards, and we also don't get our faces wet, but we do get our whole bodies wet. Another common question is, do you get fully naked? Yes, in Australia at our club we do get fully naked, and you can touch everywhere except between the legs. So it's again different club to club. A lot of clubs are not nudity clubs, so you wear just lingerie. Some clubs are naked clubs, but you can't touch. So it's literally different everywhere, and it probably isn't the case where you live, but definitely just do your research if it is something that you are interested in.
Yeah. And the final question, how long do you plan on doing this for?
Oh, I love this question.
Forever.
Because again, it comes from that mentality that it's like a means to an end. It's like a survival thing, that we need some money quick, we must sell our bodies. We are not selling our bodies, we are selling a service. And our service is entertainment, and we truly love doing it. How long I will do this for is as long as I'm enjoying it. So I by no means have to do this. I have another job, I'm fairly well educated. I will do this for probably another couple of years. I would say minimum. I think we've got a couple more years left in us. And I really look forward to being a better stripper and talking about it more and contributing to the destigmatization of sex work.
Because we've been doing this for 2 years, but we've only just started doing YouTube and TikTok and educating people this year. We've only just started, and I feel like there's so much for us to still explore.
Definitely.
Like we still need to travel heaps, and
we want to take you guys with us and like show you what it's like.
So we're doing this for you guys. This is all you guys now. So yeah, I think as long as I'm happy.
This is what I needed
making money
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so
we're a bit late.
I hope like at least one person out there is like, oh, I wonder what Australian strippers are like and what the rules are. And yeah. And so just on that note of what are the rooms like? So pretty much no club has specialty rooms like that. It is pretty rare. I do know a couple in our city that have like the dungeon type rooms, but pretty much all clubs will have like private rooms that are a bit more than the standard lap room. So in a standard lap dance room, you know, the customers are sort of like a meter apart from each other, and it's just that sort of less privacy, but you get a better price and you still get your lap dance. But you can pay a little bit more and get like maybe your own room, but it is different from club to club. I know clubs that have a shower show sort of situation on the stage, so they're all different. So shop around and find the perfect club for you.
And that's pretty much all the questions we've gotten at the moment. I think that's covered pretty much everything you guys want to know. Obviously we'll do an updated Q&A probably at the end of the year maybe. If you guys have any more questions,
leave them in the comments below and we will answer them.
But that's all we have at the moment. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our Honey Birdette giveaway.
It's giveaway time.
Alright guys, so we are doing a Honey Birdette giveaway to just celebrate and say thank you for everything. So our giveaway is going to be a full Honey Birdette set of your choice. You pick your sizes, you pick your outfit, everything you want. And then if you win, we will DM you. You give us our address and we'll post it straight to you. So we'll order it online and it'll come straight to you. There's no fees, no anything.
So if you would like to get a free full Honey Birdette set, a couple of $100 worth of beautiful lingerie, then all you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, and subscribe to both of us on TikTok. So that is at itsrosie__x, and
it is poppymore.x.
And then once you've done that, just leave a comment below telling us which set you would choose, and you can enter as many times as you like. And you have 10 days, you have 10 whole days to subscribe and like and let us know what set you would like before we announce the winner on the 8th of February.
So it'll be right in time for Valentine's Day.
Perfect.
Yay.